Today we're going to be talking about trading regulations and their impact on you as a trader. Now, there's obviously a lot of regulations out there. A lot of them don't necessarily affect you as a day trader, but I think they're good things to know because they get talked about a lot. And sometimes I think people look for like scapegoats and things to blame. And like I want to kind of delineate the difference between regulations that matter and affect you and ultimately regulations that are just kind of like whatever, you have to deal with it. So right off the bat, the biggest thing, I almost have to start with this. The biggest regulation that you're dealing with or potentially dealing with is as an average retail trader is the pattern day trader rule. Now, I was actually talking with the videographer and he was shocked at how many people he was talking to his Uber driver, and the guy was actually trading and like he couldn't figure out why he couldn't exit a position that he was in. And again, the video, we do a lot of these trading videos together, and he's like, well, are you under the PDT? And the guy's like, well, what's that? Like he didn't even realize that he only had 3 trades in a rolling 5-day period. And a lot of you don't. Like, listen, I'd be the first to admit, probably when I filled out my first brokerage account, I probably didn't read anything, signed the page, dated it, sent it back, and probably didn't read a single thing in it. But if you have a margin account, okay, so let's lay out a few things, a few parameters. A margin account allows you 2 things. It allows you to borrow money from your broker to increase your position sizes, okay, so that you can, instead of having $1,000 of buying power, most brokers give you 4-to-1, the sketchier brokers will give you more. But basically, leverage allows you to trade, instead of $1,000 of stock, you could trade $4,000 of stock. Now, I did a lot of videos on margin, very dangerous, especially if you aren't well-versed in trading, okay? Remember, margin cuts both ways, okay? Margin is awesome when the trade's working, because it amplifies your gains. But remember, margin's not a one-way street. If you're losing, margin amplifies your gains. But this isn't about margin account. We've done a ton of videos on that. Check those out. But if you have a margin account, which allows you to borrow from your broker, it gives you more buying power, and it also allows you to short sell, okay? Keep in mind, you cannot short sell with a cash account. You have to have a margin account. So if you have a margin account, that means that you can only make 3 round trips, so in and out of the same stock in the same day in a rolling 5-day period, okay? I'm gonna repeat that. I know it's a mouthful. I know it's a bunch of gobbledygook. One thing I want you to write down. Get out a notepad and write down anytime we discuss the pattern day trader rule or the PDT, you always have to remember one of my favorite quotes from Ronald Reagan: the 9 most dangerous words in the dictionary are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Okay, that's the PDT in a nutshell. Out of all of the silly, pointless, unintended consequences of things that the government has done through the years, the PDT might be the best example. Because what the PDT does is it actually like forces newer traders to make terrible money costing decisions. Like so many people stay in trades because they don't want to use their last day trade. They stay in because they don't want to use any day trades. It's a disaster. But hey man, it is what it is. Until we vote these bums out, we're stuck with it. So as a PDT, again, one more time, in and out of the same stock, in and out, a round trip, 3 times in a rolling 5-day period. Now, if you buy a stock at the end of the day and you sell it the next day, you're good. Didn't use a day trade. If you buy it Monday and you sell it Wednesday, you get it. It's just the same day, and then you get 3 of those in a rolling 5-day period. So if you make a day trade on Monday, you make a day trade on Tuesday, you make a day trade on Wednesday, you don't have any more day trades until the next Monday, the rolling 5-day period from that first trade. That was the videographer's Uber driver. Basically, he was out of day trades. He couldn't exit the position. Now, what will happen is if you violate the PDT, which if you make that 4th day trade, some brokers will stop you. Most of them will alert you and let you do it anyway. Like they'll say, hey, you're about to break the rules here. Do you want to do this? If you do that, you make that 4th day trade, it's pretty universal across every broker. They're going to flag your account and they're not going to allow you to trade for 90 days. They're basically tough crap. You broke the rules, you're on the bench for 90 days. And it can vary by broker, but 90 is pretty much the standard. Now, keep in mind one tip, if you do get flagged, as far as I haven't been under the PDT in 15 years, but as far as I know, you can still get the one get out of jail free card, okay? So I can't guarantee that, but if you're watching this video because maybe you can't trade and you're looking for a solution, first thing I would tell you, reach out to your broker and just say, hey, I made a mistake. Forgive me, Lord. Let me trade again. As far as I know, most brokers will just be like, okay, you screwed up. You got your one mulligan. Move on, okay? So think of that. Now, the other situation is that, it's a pain. Like I wish I could give you a better explanation of the PDT. I wish there was a better solution. It sucks. It really does. Like if you can't trade, it's invariably when there's the best opportunities out there. You miss them because you have no day trades. And again, I think, like I've heard so many nightmare stories of people that are down to that last day trade. They're in a losing position, and it's like 3:30, and that stock's continuing to go against them. They're looking at the clock, and it's like Rocky, Remember Rocky 1? Remember Rocky's goal wasn't to win. His goal wasn't to beat Apollo Creed. He just wanted to go the distance, okay? And it's very applicable, this, because you're down 1,000. Now it's 345 and you're down 1,500 and you're just trying to make it to round 12 when the bell rings. Ding, ding, ding. And now you're down $3,000. You're bloody as hell, but you made it to the bell. And that happens a lot because you're like, I don't have any day trades. I don't want to use my day trade. So that's where the unintended consequences happen. So I tell people, never put yourself in that position. Never put yourself in the position where you can't exit or you don't want to exit because you're going to get flagged. Save that last day trade. Always keep it. Now, ways to deal with the PDT. Number one, if you're long bias, okay, if you're a new trader and you're mostly long bias, I tell people just don't have a margin account because I would prefer you not use margin as a new trader. Remember, it amplifies your losses. And I beg new traders not to short sell until you learn how to trade. Love short selling. Crazy high probability of success once you know how to do it. So think about a cash account. Other ways around it, and this always sounds sketchy, but it's 100% legal, is the PDT, back to the government regulations, it applies per account. So if you have an account at E-Trade, you can open up an account at TD Ameritrade. You can open up an account at Robinhood. Now it sounds easier than it is because what happens is you end up with these 3 to 4 accounts, which gives you more day trades, but like you got to log into this one, you got to log into this one. Like, hey, how many day trades do I have over here? Hey, how many positions do I have over here? So it's not ideal, but it is a workaround. So now you've got 3-4 brokerage accounts. Now you got 9 or 12 day trades, which I would hope as a newer trader is enough. I mean, if you're trading more than that, you want to, reassess if maybe you're over trading. So the PDT is what it is. It's the number one regulation you deal with. And then the last point I do want to touch on is, insider trading and politicians. I know this is a hot button issue. Nancy Pelosi and all, she's the most prominent one, but listen, both sides of the aisle are doing it. I mean, Dan Crenshaw is a prominent Republican. I think he's doing it more than anybody. He's trading more than Nancy Pelosi is. So both sides are doing it. And, the only thing I want to say is it's legal. Like I think that people get in an uproar about Congress trading. They say they're not trading on insider information. It's like, yeah, right. But it's one of those things that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Like I'm a big personal responsibility guy. I'm a big person, when it comes to, like the serenity. I'm a big fan of the serenity prayer, like, Lord, give me the ability, I'm going to butcher it, to change the things that I can change and be okay with the things I can't change. That was the worst paraphrasing of the serenity prayer ever. But getting mad about what Pelosi's doing or what any of these other congressmen are doing, it doesn't do anything. Go to the booth. Deal with that in the booth. But I see a lot of people just complaining. They're losing money. They're on the opposite side of the trade, and they're like, I'm getting scammed by my congressman. But it doesn't change anything. It's legal for them to do it. It will always be legal. I mean, listen, if you think they'll talk about it occasionally, but if you think they're ever going to change it, welcome to your first day of seeing how the U.S. Congress works. But it is what it is, and there's nothing you can really do about it at the end. So outside of that, those are the biggest regulations we really deal with. I mean, at the end of the day, there's a lot of regulations out there, but they typically don't affect the small retail traders. So get over the idea, once you're over the PDT or once you're managing the PDT, get over the fact that it's not anybody else's fault. It's your own fault. The sooner you own your trades, the sooner you take personal responsibility and have discipline, the sooner you'll be a consistently profitable trader. That being said, if you're looking to take your trading to the next level, check out the Daily Income Trader webinar series. We do 6 webinars a day during the week, 2 on the weekends, all through the day. 100% free, showing you how to locate the best stocks, showing you how to manage margin, showing you how to manage the PDT, showing you how to enter, exit, do research, use algos, we've actually got an artificial intelligence component. So it's a really cool way to learn more about trading beyond an 8-minute YouTube video. And they're 100% free and 100% live all through the day. Click that link, jump on one when your schedule permits. You can schedule them in advance, and we'd love to see you there.